I've watched a lot of historical K-dramas, and I can confidently say some of the most underrated ones are actually the best. So today, I'm sharing 10 underrated historical K-dramas that are actually hidden gems. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more epic K-drama recommendations. Number 10. Missing Crown Prince.
도대체 너의 정체가 무엇이냐?
In this historical rom-com drama, our male lead is Suho, starring as Prince Lee Jian. He's living his best life in the palace until he gets caught up in a crazy situation with our female lead, Choi Myung-yoon, played by Hong Yi-ji. Because a fortune teller said any man Myung-yoon marries will die, her father kidnaps a random guy to perform a ritual to pass on the bad luck, but he accidentally snatches the actual crown prince. While Lee Jian is stuck in this accidental kidnapping, a palace coup breaks out led by Myung-yoon's own father. Now, with traitors in power who want him dead, the prince is forced to go on the run to stay alive and plan his revenge. This drama is a hidden gem because it's a survival road trip mixed with a forbidden romance. It starts out funny because of the kidnapping mistake, but quickly turns into a serious mission for revenge as the prince and his kidnappers start to catch feelings for each other while running for their lives. Number 9. The Forbidden Marriage.
누가 감히 그 이름을 함부로 입에 뒀느냐?
At number 9, we have The Forbidden Marriage, a historical rom-com set in a fictionalized Joseon. Our male lead is Kim Young-dae, starring as King Lee Hyun, a king so heartbroken over his wife's death 7 years ago that he has banned everyone in Joseon from getting married. Enter our female lead, Park Joo-hyun, starring as So-rang, a clever con artist who gets caught running an illegal matchmaking ring. To save herself from execution, she fakes being possessed by the spirit of the late crown princess. The king is so desperate for closure that he brings her into the palace as his personal spirit medium. What starts as a desperate lie to stay alive turns into a chaotic mess as So-rang tries to help the king move on while juggling her feelings and the risk of being exposed. If you're looking for a drama that is high energy, genuinely funny, and packed with romantic tension, this is a masterpiece you definitely missed. Number 8. Rookie historian Gu Hae-ryung.
제 이름 매화라고 적어주시겠습니까?
This historical drama is set in the 19th century, and it follows our female lead, Shin Se-kyung, starring as Gu Hae-ryung. She's a 26-year-old maid who couldn't care less about getting married. She'd much rather spend her time reading Western books and studying science. When the government opens up a new role for female historians to record the secrets of the palace, Hae-ryung jumps at the chance. While working in the palace, she crosses paths with our male lead, Cha Eun-woo, who plays Prince Rim. He's a lonely prince kept hidden away from the world, and to pass the time, he secretly writes cheesy romance novels under a pen name. The story follows their slow-burn romance as Hae-ryung fights to be taken seriously as a professional in a world that thinks women should only be wives. You'll find this drama to be a total comfort watch because it's incredibly bright, colorful, and lighthearted. It flips the usual K-drama tropes on their head with a reverse dynamic where the female lead is the smart and logical one who actually has to teach the innocent prince about how the real world works. Number 7. Night Flower. Coming at number 7 is Night Flower, an action-packed comedy starring Honey Lee as Jo Yeohwa, a woman who has been a widow for 15 years in the strict Joseon era. Back then, if a woman's husband died, she was expected to live like a ghost, wearing only white mourning clothes, staying hidden inside, and mourning forever. Yeohwa plays the part of the virtuous daughter-in-law by day, but once the sun goes down, she trades her white robes for a mask and black gear to become a legendary vigilante. She spends her nights hopping over walls, beating up thugs, and helping the poor, but her double life gets risky when she crosses paths with Lee Jong-won, a sharp military officer who starts tracking this mysterious Night Flower. The story follows their high-stakes cat-and-mouse game as he tries to figure out if he should arrest this masked hero or help her. If you're a fan of the Joseon superhero vibe, you're going to love the energy of this drama. Unlike a lot of historical romances, this one actually delivers on the action with some of the best choreographed hand-to-hand combat and rooftop chases you'll see in a K-drama. Number 6. River Where the Moon Rises.
일본인을 살리고 싶으면 얌전히 칼을 바꿔라.
River Where the Moon Rises is a high-stakes historical epic set in the ancient kingdom of Goguryeo. Our female lead, Kim So-hyun, stars as Princess Pyongyang, who loses her memory as a child during a bloody palace coup and is raised by a secret assassin group. For years, she lives as a cold-blooded killer named Yeom Ga-jin until she's sent on a mission to the palace to assassinate the king, who she eventually realizes is her own father. Along the way, she meets our male lead, Na In-woo, starring as Ondal, a peace-loving man living in the mountains who absolutely hates violence. To reclaim her throne and protect her people, the assassin princess has to do the unthinkable. She has to teach this gentle pacifist man how to fight so he can become a general and protect her in the coming war. If you're looking for something with serious warrior energy and top-tier combat, this is the strongest choice on the list. Unlike the light-hearted rom-coms we've talked about, this is a heavy emotional story packed with full-scale battles that feels much more raw and militaristic than your typical palace drama, making it a must-watch for fans of serious action. Number 5. Boss Sam. Steal the Fate.
20년보다 더 못 믿는 게 임금이요. 어떡해요! 니놈이 바로 이 사태의 원흉이로구나.
This drama introduces us to a strange and illegal Joseon custom called Boss Sam, where a widow would be kidnapped in the middle of the night to be remarried to a new husband. Our male lead is Young Il-woo, starring as Ba-woo, a fixer who performs these kidnappings for hire to make a living. His life takes a dangerous turn when he makes a massive mistake. While trying to kidnap a widow for a client, he accidentally abducts our female lead, Kwon Yuri, who is actually the widowed daughter of the king. Because the palace already believes the princess is dead, she can't just go back without causing a massive political scandal. Ba-woo and the princess are forced to go on the run together, slowly uncovering that Ba-woo is actually a fallen nobleman hiding his true identity from the powerful enemies who framed his family. You'll love this one because it feels much more gritty and authentic than your typical glossy palace drama. The romance is a beautiful and mature slow burn that builds on mutual trust and shared trauma as they transition from captor and captive to actual partners in a fight for justice. Number 4. Bloody Heart.
시겠습니까? 어디 사는지 뭐 하는지도 감춘다면서요.
그 물량을 반부하자 대비와 저상은 중전에 정할 것이다. 내 진료를 중전으로 간택하려 합니다.
This historical thriller is a heavy hitter that feels more like a high-stakes psychological game than a typical drama. Our male lead is Lee Jun, starring as King Lee Tae, a monarch who is tired of being a puppet and is determined to become an absolute ruler by stripping power from his government officials. His main rival is the powerful vice premier, Park Gae-won, played by the legendary Jang Hyuk, a man who believes a strong king is a danger to the country and must be kept in check at all costs. The real tragedy strikes when the woman Lee Tae has loved since they were young, Yoo Jong, played by Kang Han-na, gets dragged into this brutal power struggle. To survive and protect each other, these two lovers are forced to become political enemies, leading to a bloody battle of wits where every single move could lead to a massacre. If you're looking for the most intense, dark, and visually stunning drama on this list, Bloody Heart is the one you cannot miss. It's arguably the most beautiful Sageuk ever filmed. Unlike the other dramas we've talked about, there are no good guys here. Every character is morally gray, and the plot moves like a high-level game of chess where psychological warfare and hidden agendas take center stage. Number 3. The King of Tears, Lee Bang-won.
나의 아들인 충격 너까지 그 무리에 섞여 엎드려 있는 것이냐? 어찌하여 저 간신들과 함께 내 진심을 짓밟고 있는 것이냐?
This one is a traditional historical drama, which means that it's less about romance and more about the raw, bloody reality of building a kingdom. The story is set during the collapse of the Goryeo dynasty and the birth of the Joseon era we see in so many other dramas. Our male lead is Ju Sang-wook, starring as Lee Bang-won, the ambitious son of a legendary general. While his father wants to start a new country but keep his hands honorable and clean, Bang-won realizes that you can't build a new world without getting a little blood on your hands. When his father hesitates to remove their enemies, Bang-won is the one who steps up and does the dirty work. This eventually leads to a massive falling out between father and son, sparking a brutal civil war where Bang-won has to fight his own brothers to seize the throne. This is the gold standard for ruthless leadership, and it's perfect for anyone who loves high stakes and brutal historical action. Unlike the fusion rom-coms on this list, this is a traditional saga that drops the jokes and leans entirely into political revolution and family betrayal. Number 2. Rebel. Thief Who Stole the People. This high-energy epic reimagines the life of Korea's most famous legendary hero, Hong Gil-dong, played by Yoon Kyun-sang. In this version, Gil-dong is born as a mighty child, a rare person with superhuman physical strength. In the strict Joseon society, a commoner with this kind of power was seen as a threat and usually executed, so his father, Amogi, played by Kim Sang-jung, forces him to hide his strength and live like an ordinary servant. But as a tyrant king begins to destroy his family and oppress the poor, Gil-dong can no longer stay quiet. He eventually embraces his massive power to lead a band of brothers in a gritty, realistic rebellion to take down the most notorious villain in Korean history. If you love an inspiring underdog story with heavy-hitting combat, this is a perfect pick for you. Number 1. The Princess Man. Taking the top spot is The Princess Man, the ultimate Romeo and Juliet of the Joseon era, starring Moon Chae-won as Lee Se-ryung and Park Si-hoo as Kim Sung-yu. Se-ryung is the headstrong daughter of a powerful grand prince, while Sung-yu is the carefree son of the king's most loyal general. Their world is completely shattered when Se-ryung's father leads a bloody coup to steal the throne, murdering Sung-yu's entire family in the process. Sung-yu narrowly survives the massacre, but he's transformed from a scholarly nobleman into a cold-blooded, vengeful assassin. The story follows his dark quest for revenge against the man who murdered his kin, who also happens to be the father of the woman he still deeply loves. If you want a drama that balances sweeping romance with brutal and high-tension action, this is the gold standard. It features a dark hero protagonist whose transformation is one of the best in K-drama history. He goes from a polished scholar to a gritty, scarred warrior fueled by pure rage. The emotional stakes are dialed up to 100 because it's not just a forbidden romance. It's a "your father killed my father" level of conflict that keeps you on edge until the very last second. And that wraps up our list of the 10 underrated historical K-dramas you should watch right now. From high-stakes palace dramas to intense political thrillers and heart-melting rom-coms, every drama on this list is an absolute gem that deserves a spot on your watch list. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more K-drama recommendations.